What's up, Cowboys Nation? Welcome back to Cowboys News TV. I'm Dave, and today, we're diving into a hot topic that's making waves around the league, a Tua Tagovailoa-related trade rumor involving our very own Trey Lance. Could the Dallas Cowboys be considering a move to send Lance to Miami? Is Tua Tagovailoa's retirement even on the table? We're about to break it all down, but before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. We're closing in on 11,000 subscribers, and your support is crucial in helping us hit that milestone. Be a part of the Cowboys News TV family by subscribing today. Let's kick things off with the juicy rumor that's been floating around. There's been talk that the Miami Dolphins could be eyeing Trey Lance, and some fans even dream of Dallas flipping Lance in exchange for a star running back or a premium pick. Sounds like a dream deal, right? But here's the harsh reality: it's not going to happen. There are several major roadblocks standing in the way of this fantasy trade. Tua's retirement? Not so fast. First off, let's address the elephant in the room: the idea that Tua Tagovailoa, after suffering yet another concussion, is going to retire. Many fans and analysts have been speculating that Tua, having dealt with multiple concussions in a short span, might call it quits. However, the latest reports from NFL Network make it clear that retirement is not on Tua's mind. In fact, Tua has been consulting medical specialists, determined to make his return to the field despite his recent injury. This guy is a fighter, Cowboys Nation. He's only 26 and isn't planning on walking away from the game he loves anytime soon. So here's a question for you, Cowboys fans. Do you think Tua should consider retirement for the sake of his long-term health? Let us know in the comments below, and while you're at it, vote in our poll on whether Tua should keep playing or hang up his cleats for good. Your opinion matters, and we want to hear what you think. Is Trey Lance the answer for Miami? Now, let's talk about Trey Lance. Some fans are hoping that the Cowboys could somehow turn Lance into a trade asset. But is Lance really the answer for Miami or any other team? Let's be real here: Lance hasn't proven himself as a starting caliber quarterback. Since coming to Dallas from San Francisco, Lance has been nothing more than a project. He couldn't beat out Cooper Rush for the backup job, and as far as we've seen, he's not ready to step up in a meaningful way. In Miami, they already have a capable backup in Skylar Thompson, who has playoff experience under his belt. Thompson is more proven than Lance, and the Dolphins also just signed quarterback Tyler "Snoop" Huntley off the Ravens practice squad. Huntley, unlike Lance, has won games, participated in the playoffs, and even made a Pro Bowl. So why would Miami give up a premium asset for someone like Lance, who's still a big question mark? Cowboys Nation, here's another question for you. Do you think Trey Lance still has untapped potential, or is it time for the Cowboys to move on from him? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to share your vote in our poll on whether Lance deserves a second chance in Dallas or elsewhere. The fan fantasy: Lance for a star running back? Here's where things get a bit crazy. Some fan sites have been floating the idea that the Dolphins could trade a star running back to the Cowboys in exchange for Trey Lance. Sounds too good to be true, right? That's because it is. Let's be honest, Lance's value isn't that high. The Cowboys gave up a fourth-round pick to get him from the 49ers, and so far, he hasn't lived up to expectations. Plus, Lance is expensive, with $5.4 million guaranteed on his contract, and he's set to become a free agent after this season. Why would Miami, or any other team for that matter, trade a valuable asset for a guy who hasn't proven he's worth it? It just doesn't make sense. But let's have some fun with this idea. If you were the Cowboys GM, would you pull the trigger on a trade involving Lance? And who would you try to get in return? Let us know your wildest trade scenarios in the comments, and let's see who comes up with the most creative or realistic idea. Miami's new move: Tyler Huntley. To put the final nail in the coffin of the Lance to Miami trade rumor, the Dolphins have already made a move that proves they're not interested in Lance. They signed Tyler "Snoop" Huntley, who comes with playoff experience and has actually won games in the NFL. And here's the kicker, they got him off the Ravens practice squad for nothing. That's right, zero cost. So why would Miami go after Lance when they already found a solid backup for free? The simple answer is, they wouldn't. And that's why the idea of Lance heading to the Dolphins is more of a fantasy than a legitimate possibility. Cowboys' commitment to Trey Lance? At the end of the day, the only team that's really invested in Trey Lance right now is the Dallas Cowboys, and even that's because they have to be. They spent a fourth-round pick on him, and Jerry Jones and the Cowboys front office will want to see if Lance can develop into something more than just a third-stringer. But right now, Lance is far from being the answer at quarterback for any team, including Dallas. What do you think, Cowboys Nation? Is it time for the Cowboys to cut their losses with Lance, or should they give him more time to develop? Sound off in the comments and share your thoughts on what the future holds for Trey Lance. We're eager to hear your take. Alright, Cowboys Nation, now that we've covered the Miami angle, let's pivot back to what really matters, Trey Lance's future with the Dallas Cowboys. We know Jerry Jones loves a good project, and investing a fourth-round pick in Lance shows the Cowboys are at least curious about what he might bring to the table in the long run. But curiosity only goes so far, and the clock is ticking. How much patience will the Cowboys really have for a quarterback who hasn't proven he can play at a high level yet? Lance is currently sitting behind Dak Prescott and Cooper Rush, which means his chances of seeing any real game time this season are slim unless injuries happen. But here's the thing, the Cowboys have a history of developing talent in-house. Look no further than Tony Romo, who went from an undrafted free agent to a franchise quarterback. Could Lance be the next under-the-radar player to develop into something special? At this point, it's all speculation. Lance has yet to show the skills that made him a top draft pick when he entered the league, and the Cowboys coaching staff will have to decide if he's worth the effort to develop. The preseason wasn't exactly a glowing showcase for Lance, and with a crowded quarterback room, the pressure is on him to make every practice rep count. Poll time, should the Cowboys keep Trey Lance? Cowboys Nation, we want to hear from you. Do you think the Cowboys should keep working on Trey Lance's development, or is it time to move on and use that roster spot for a more immediate impact player? Let us know in the comments, and be sure to vote in our latest poll. This is your chance to have your voice heard on one of the most divisive topics in Cowboys Nation right now. And while you're thinking about Lance's future, ask yourself this, if Dak were to go down with an injury, knock on wood, would you trust Lance to step up and lead the Cowboys to a win? Or would you rather see Cooper Rush get the nod as the backup quarterback? What's Trey Lance's ceiling? Here's a big question that's looming over Trey Lance. What's his true potential? Is he simply a backup quarterback, or can he become a starter in the NFL? His physical tools are undeniable. He's got a strong arm, he's mobile, and he can extend plays with his legs. But the mental aspect of the game is where Lance seems to be lagging behind. His decision-making, accuracy, and ability to read defenses are all areas that need improvement. One theory is that Lance just needs more time to adjust to the speed of the NFL, especially considering he had limited playing time in college. But time is not always on a quarterback side, especially when you're on a team like the Cowboys, where the expectations are sky-high every season. Let's not forget, Lance came from a run-heavy system at North Dakota State, and the jump to the NFL's complex passing schemes is a steep learning curve. It could be that Lance's potential is capped by the system he came from. Or maybe, with the right coaching, he can break through that ceiling and become a legitimate starting quarterback in the league. Only time will tell. Your take, Trey Lance, project or bust? So Cowboys Nation, where do you stand? Is Trey Lance still a project worth investing in, or is it time for the Cowboys to admit this experiment might not pan out? We're interested to see what you think, so drop your comments below and let us know if you believe Lance still has untapped potential or if the Cowboys should cut their losses. And hey, if you've enjoyed the deep dive into Trey Lance's future, don't forget to smash that like button and share this video with your fellow Cowboys fans. We're getting closer to that 11,000 subscriber mark, and your support is what keeps Cowboys News TV going strong. Dak Prescott's role in Lance's development. One angle we haven't really explored yet is the role Dak Prescott might play in Trey Lance's development. As the undisputed leader of the Cowboys, Dak is in a unique position to mentor Lance if the team sees value in that kind of relationship. Prescott has been through his fair share of ups and downs, and his journey from a fourth-round pick to one of the NFL's top quarterbacks could serve as inspiration for Lance. But will Dak have the time or the desire to mentor someone who might eventually compete for his job? Or is this purely a business relationship where Dak focuses on winning now, while Lance's development is left to the coaching staff? It's an interesting dynamic to watch unfold. Final thoughts. The future of Trey Lance with the Dallas Cowboys remains a mystery, but one thing is for sure, the Cowboys need to see more from him before they can truly decide his fate. Whether it's through practice, preseason games, or mop-up duty in regular season action, Lance has to seize every opportunity he gets. As fans, it's easy to speculate, but the truth is, we won't know what Lance's ceiling is until he gets more reps and experience. But Cowboys Nation, we want to hear your thoughts on this quarterback situation. Should Lance stick around, or is it time to look elsewhere? That wraps it up for today's episode of Cowboys News TV. Be sure to drop a comment, cast your vote in our poll, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. We've got more great content coming your way, so hit that notification bell and stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.